Welcome to CaseWareVids. This quick vid provides an overview of the year-end close procedure. The year-end close function is performed to close the books for the fiscal year and reopen them for the new fiscal year. In time, it is essential that a year-end close be performed at the end of each fiscal year. In Time 2009, there are two options available for the year-end close. The first option will create new period dates for the new fiscal year in the file and keep the history. The second option will create a new file for the new year and bring forward outstanding balances to the file. Before looking at these options in detail, let's discuss a few things we need to do prior to performing the year-end close. To start, we need to check the diagnostic reports to verify there are no errors in the file. From the Tools menu, open the Diagnostics dialog, select each category, select OK, and run the report. If there are any errors or critical errors, follow the instructions to repair them. If you're working in a monthly file, make sure the company profile is set to period 12. From the File menu, open Company Profile, and then select the Dates tab. Check that the period is 12. Make sure all the time entries for the period are completed. Enter all accounts receivable entries for the year. If you have set up recurring invoices in your file, process them for the final month. If your billing from work in progress invoices include proposed type invoices, to avoid purging them from the file during the year-end close, either convert them to interim or final type invoices, or change the invoice dates to future to carry them forward to the new year file. Reconcile the work in progress by reviewing the work in progress detail report. It should agree with the work in progress reconciliation report. Reconcile the accounts receivables by reviewing the accounts receivables trial balance report. It should agree with the accounts receivables reconciliation report. There is a slight difference if you choose to do the year-end close with the second option, create new file for new year. This option will create a new file for the new year. So you need to consider if there are any clients you want to make inactive, this is the time to do it. Keep in mind, you can only make clients inactive if they don't have outstanding work in progress or account receivable balances. Inactive clients will not be transferred to the New Year's file. If there are any staff that no longer work in your firm and you want to make them inactive, do this before the year-end close. During a year-end close, the inactive staff with unbilled time and expenses will be transferred to the New Year's file. However, inactive staff that has no unbilled time and expenses will be purged. Using the second option, you are creating a new file, so check that you have sufficient disk space available. You need at least double the size of your current file as free disk space. The last thing to consider is to make a backup of your time file. Make sure all the staff are logged out of the time file. Go to Tools, Maintenance, and open the Backup Restore dialog and back up the file. After completing all the necessary steps, you are ready to perform the year-end close. In Time 2009, a year-end close wizard has been added to take you through the steps to perform the year-end close. Open the year-end close wizard from the File menu. First, you need to select the type of year-end close you wish to perform from these two options. Do not create new file for new year. This option will create new period dates for the new fiscal year and keep the history in the file. Or, create new file for new year. This option will create a new file for the new year, bringing across outstanding transactions to the new file. We will start with the first option. Do not create new file for new year. Click on the Next button. It takes us to the year-end options page. In this page, there are three additional options. Add a percentage increase to standard and work code rates, create next year's project from current year's project, and clear document roles. You can choose all three of these options, or just the ones that apply to you. We're going to choose each one and review all the other options that are available within each choice. Add a percentage increase to standard and work code rates. Use this option if you want to add a percentage increase to staff standard and work code rates for the next year. To see what additional options are available in this area, select Next. In the Increase Staff Rates options page, you have the option to increase staff rates by all staff rates, Here you enter a percentage increase, which will be applied to all staff work code rates, or by staff position. Here you specify what the rate increase will be per staff position. Click on the Staff Position Rates button and enter the percentage rate increase per staff position. The program will then apply this rate to the staff in that position. To view the staff list for the position, press the following button in the Staff List column. There is also an option for staff with no position. The rate you enter will apply to the staff which have not been given a position. Other staff rate options include effective date. This is the date the staff rate increase takes effect. It cannot be earlier than the new year period beginning date. Recalculate budget entries with new staff rates. This will recalculate the staff rates and budget entries based on the effective date and the selected percentage increase option. Selecting the back button to return to the year-end options, we now select Create New Year's Project from Current Year's Project. This option will use the current year's project as its base for next year's project. Select Next. It will take you to the project year-end options. The options are Delete Budget Detail in the New Year's Project. When this option is selected, the wizard will delete the budget detail for all projects and sub-projects for next year's project. Or leave budget detail in the New Year's Project. When this option is selected, the wizard will leave the budget detail for all projects and sub-projects for the next year's project while it adds 1 year to the project entries dates. Notice the option Add a percentage increase to the budget amounts. This option is for projects which have a budget amount without budget detail. Input a percentage increase and the wizard will increase the budget amounts by the percentage for the next year's projects. Selecting the back button now to view the last option, Clear Document Roles, you will select this option to clear roles assigned on documents in the Document Manager for the new year. Once you've reviewed all your choices and selected the appropriate ones, select Finish to process the year-end close. We've just demonstrated the first year-end close type. Do not create new file for new year. Now let's go back to the first page of the wizard and this time select the option to create new file for new year. This option will create a new file for the new year and will bring forward to the new file any outstanding transactions, purging applied data and inactive clients and staff. Choose this option if you don't want to keep the history of transactions in your file and you prefer to start a new file for the new year. Select Next. The New Year file page needs information for creating the New Year's file. In the directory field, specify where you want to save the new file's supplementary files. Supplementary files are the time file, filename.ar, and other non-SQL file example Word documents. You can also click the Browse button to navigate to the folder. In the name field, type the new name of the next year's file. If you're using Caseware today, do not use spaces when creating the name. Click the Test Connection button to make sure the connections to the SQL Server are working. Select Next. As you see, all the options we discussed earlier are available again. The only additional option is to include current year file in History Manager. Select this option to place the closed year's file on the Time History Manager list in the New Year file. This helps you archive your old time files and refer to them quickly when needed. The History Manager is located under the File menu in Time 2009. Once you've reviewed all your choices and selected the appropriate options to complete the year-end close procedure, select Finish. That covers the quick vid on year-end closes. Thank you for watching CaseWare QuickVids.